Hello fellow teachers. Welcome to this short video tutorial that will introduce you to the annual National Senior Certificate Diagnostic Reports. These reports will inform your subject interventions in grade 12 and in the FET phase in general. The ultimate objective, of course, is to benefit your learners. These reports are contained in 3 publications. Part 1 consists of the 10 high enrollment subjects. Part 2 comprises English First Additional Language and the home languages. And Part 3 covers technology and technical subjects. These reports are compiled to assist you in 2 ways. Firstly, to provide you with feedback on how learners reacted to the most recent NSC exams. And secondly, to provide advice or to serve as reminders to teachers on how future cohorts of learners can improve their exam performance. This video will take you through 3 elements. Firstly, the process by which the NSC diagnostic reports are developed by the provincial and national departments. Secondly, the layout of the reports for each subject. And thirdly, how the reports should be used by educators and subject advisors to improve subject performance. So let's get started with how the diagnostic reports are developed. During the NSC paper marking process, 100 scripts per question paper are randomly selected by each province for the subjects that are contained in the diagnostic report. So for the 9 provinces, that amounts to 900 scripts per subject. These scripts include samples of low, medium and high achievement scores. The internal moderators and the chief markers analyze and note learners' responses to each question. The individual scripts are scrutinized to provide an in-depth understanding of the range of different responses and to note the strengths and weaknesses. Particular attention is given to common errors and misconceptions identified in learners' responses. And in addition, common factors noticed within specific school batches are noted and are also explained in the reports. Consequently, the diagnostic report and its subject chapters provide teachers, subject advisors, and curriculum planners with a picture of learner performance. This, in turn, articulates the remedial measures to be adopted at school and at district level. Other teachers of your subject who currently do not have grade 12 classes should be made aware of the contents of these reports, as many of the comments also apply to the teaching of other grades as well. And of course, learners would also benefit greatly from knowing about the problems that the previous grade 12 groups have experienced. We will now move to consider the structure of the subject chapters in the diagnostic report and how they should be used. The first section under each subject covers performance trends. We will use mathematics, that is chapter 10, as an example. The chapter for each subject commences with a section that presents comparative data on the performance trends observed over a 5-year period in the subject. The information is represented by tables and graphs to enable easier interpretation of any trends, especially on changes over the medium term, as well as changes from year to year. In the table in this section, you will see the performance of mathematics candidates over the last 5 years in terms of the number of learners who wrote, the number and percentage of learners who achieved at 30% and above, and the number and percentage of learners who achieved at 40% and above. These pass rates are also illustrated in bar graphs, as well as in performance distribution curves, which represent the achievement of the full range of learners in the subject for the past 5 years. Any improvement or decline in the performance can be observed from the position of the 2019 graph relative to the previous years. If the 2019 graph lies to the right of the previous graphs, this suggests an improvement in performance, while a slant to the left indicates a decline in performance. The second section in the subject report is the overview of learner performance. This is an overall summary of the performance of learners in the question paper as a whole. It makes reference to generic areas of good performance or weakness and the possible reasons for these observations. Some subjects might have lengthy explanations. You are advised to communicate the contents from your relevant chapter to your current learners, particularly after they've done the previous NSC exam paper as preparation for their trial exams or their final NSC exam. In this way, they can reflect on their own performance on the practice paper and become aware of good practice and the errors made by previous cohorts of learners. The third section contains the diagnostic question analysis for each subject. This includes a bar graph of the average percentage marks obtained per question, as well as a more extensive bar graph which shows the breakdown of marks achieved in each sub-question. As mentioned earlier, these scores are for randomly selected samples of learners representing each achievement category. These graphs therefore reflect comparisons of the degree of challenge that was experienced by these candidates, and they do not necessarily reflect national averages. This section is a very important one, which provides more specific detail on the performance of learners in answering the question paper. There are explanations on whether the questions were well answered or poorly answered, with the specific reasons and the evidence provided. The first part of this section covers the common errors and misconceptions that were identified in candidates' responses to each of the sub-questions in the paper. This section can be quite lengthy, as you can see from this example. Finally, the section ends off with suggestions for improvement in relation to teaching and learning the subject. It also covers subject advisory support and provision, and the appropriate utilization of the available learning, teaching, and support material. In addition, valuable points of advice are provided to cover not only the topic content, but also the suggested methodology in teaching potentially challenging topics more effectively. It is obvious that no NSC examination in any one year can cover every topic in the curriculum. Consequently, you are strongly advised to also refer to the diagnostic reports published in previous years for information on other aspects of the curriculum. We hope this short video has enabled you to gain an understanding of the annual National Senior Certificate Diagnostic Reports. We trust that you will find the material in these publications to be helpful to you in informing your teaching strategies and interventions in the best interests of your learners. You may access the reports and your subject's chapters on the DDD School Improvement Portal or the DBE website. If you need any assistance in doing this, please do not hesitate to contact the DDD Help Desk either by email or by phone.